loves, it's your girl Danny Marie. I have to start this video out with saying I am sorry. It has been over a month or just about a month since my last video, and I'm blaming that on quarantine. Quarantine, although very necessary, I have to state that first because I am a nurse and I know my liability is to always be as honest and truthful as I can. So quarantine is necessary. However, the fact that I can't do anything but be in the house has made me not want to do anything when I'm in the house. So I have been in a little bit of a funk. I haven't wanted to do anything that really required any effort. Like I have been on Netflix a lot. I've been on Hulu a little bit, watching movies. I also have an app that I can stream movies from my phone to my TV. So I've been doing that a lot, and that's not like a Netflix server or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. That's all I've done. Oh, and TikTok. TikTok is one of my new obsessions. So I do a lot of TikToking. I think I'm pretty funny. You might not, but that's okay. But yeah, I do TikToks a lot because even though TikToks require effort, it's not the same type of effort that my YouTube videos involve. So I've been in a little bit of a funk, and that's with me still working. So I know that you guys out there who are not nurses or who are not essential workers in the hospitals or the grocery stores or whatever the case may be are probably struggling at home, and I do sympathize with you. We are all struggling, however, period. I do not think that reopening states right now is a great idea. I think that people forget that we saw a huge surge of cases, which is what put quarantine in effect. And quarantine being in effect, although not everybody has listened to it, is what has made our case numbers start to drop. But coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus, is very much still here. It hasn't gone anywhere, and it's not going anywhere. And so us reopening states and everybody wanting to go back to stores and do all these things, it's going to create another surge of cases. And I would love to be wrong about that, but I do not think I am. But I will say that the places that I have seen that have opened are, for the most part, trying to adhere to social distancing, even though they are open. So I went to a store yesterday, and they have a limit on how many people can be in the store. And this is a smaller store. It's not like Lowe's and Walmart where they can allow like 500 people and you're walking past a bunch of people, nothing like that. And then one of my friends told me about a nail salon that she went to. She was the only person in there. And then I went to the nail salon yesterday just to check it out, and there was nobody in there again. And then when somebody did come in, it was only two of us, and we sat a mile apart, y'all. So I think that the efforts to open up safely are great, but the way that a lot of these states are just saying just open up and there's no restrictions at all, I don't think that's a good idea. So I am thankful to all of the business owners around who are taking it upon themselves to continue social distancing even with them being open. So if you guys can support those businesses, I think that places like nail salons and stuff should go to being appointment only so that you can know that there's only going to be a certain number of people in that place at a certain time. Same thing for hair salons, because you can't get that service in social distance, but you don't need to be not social distancing between the hairstylist and the customer and then have another hairstylist and another customer 2 feet from them. Like, as much as we can, we need to go to appointment only type of things. That's my thought on that. So I also wanted to tell you guys what work is like for me right now. I know you guys are seeing a lot of stuff online about how hospital censuses are so low, and nurses are being furloughed and laid off and etc. And that's just proof that quarantine isn't necessary and it's hurting our businesses. There aren't that many people that are getting sick, blah blah blah. That is a twofold statement. Yes, hospital censuses are down. That is in large part due to quarantine. But it is not necessarily a negative thing when you are not speaking economically. As an ER nurse, and I preface that before I say this, because I'm speaking from a place of experience, there are a whole lot of people that come to the ER and don't need to. So part of the reason that hospital censuses are low is because people are at home and they're thinking to themselves, is whatever I'm experiencing bad enough that I want to go to a hospital and risk being around people who have COVID-19? And they're weighing that. And I think a lot of people are choosing to stay home. And so that is a big part of it. However, that being said, the people that we are seeing in the hospitals, they're quite sick. My hospital has been floating ER nurses to the ICU in preparation for when things get extremely bad. And I have seen some things that I really never expected to see. I'm seeing young people, people my age, maybe a little bit older than me, early 30s, who can't even catch their breath just to go to the bathroom. I had a patient, the bathroom was in her room. There's a toilet right behind her bed, and just walking to the toilet to use the bathroom and coming back to her bed, when she sat down, she was just debilitated, just worked out, and she was struggling to breathe. When I was in the ICU, I had a patient who was on high flow oxygen. So when you see people with a nasal cannula, the little rubber thing that provides oxygen through their nose, typically they're on, lower levels of oxygen, maybe 2 liters per minute or 3 liters per minute. And then as, oxygen use increase, we have other devices. And so we have patients who are on, 70% pure oxygen. And that is a lot of oxygen. That means that they're not getting enough oxygen from the air, nor could they get enough oxygen from just the nasal cannula to, carry themselves and to live life. So they need additional oxygen, and that's a lot. And these are people who are in their 30s, who are in their 40s, who don't have any comorbidities. They don't have any medical history. They're not sick, but they got this, and now they are struggling. I have several friends and family members who have been diagnosed with this virus, and I have watched people struggle, and I have talked to people who I'm personally affiliated with who have struggled with this, and it's not a game. So like I said, as states begin to open up, please be careful. I can't tell you to stay home because I know a lot of people are not going to. You got to do what you got to do. If you find something is important to you, then go do that. But please be safe. Be careful with cross-contamination when you're wearing your gloves. Yes, medical professionals wear gloves, but we change our gloves all the time. So if you're going to wear gloves out, don't just wear one pair of gloves and do everything as if that was your hand and then just take them off before you go home, because you've contaminated everything that you've touched with those gloves. The next thing you touch has the germs from the first thing, and by the time you touch the last thing, which is probably your cell phone or your car keys, your car door, etc., all the germs from every single thing you've ever touched is now there. So just be really careful. Try to clean your gloves as often as you can. If you don't have multiple pairs, that is fine, but use hand sanitizer even despite the fact that you have gloves on, or in spite of the fact that you have gloves on. Just try to be very careful. So yeah, that's what work has been like. And then let's see, what else did I want to update you guys about? Oh, my hair. So let me tell you about my hair. I am very much still loving my sister locks. As you can see, they are starting to get a little bit thicker, and I'm getting a little bit more volume. I got my first full head retie, because you guys know I started the front of my locks first and then did the back 2 weeks later. And so then when I got my first retie, it was just the front. But then I waited a little bit longer on my back. I waited 6 weeks on the back of my hair, which ended up being, I think it was 3 weeks or 4 weeks for the top, so that I could get my whole head done. My loctician has told me I cannot go 6 weeks anymore without getting a retie, because my hair grows too fast, and my retie took a whole lot longer than we expected it to. But I am very satisfied with it. I love being able to see those parts in there. Y'all see them? They cute, girl. But one thing I will say that happened with my locks that I wasn't happy about when it happened, but I am happy about it now. When I got that first retie of the top, my loctician wanted to cut some of the ends of my locks, not like, like cutting inches off the locks, but as you look at my locks, you see how they're curly on the ends. I think you guys can see that. Maybe my hand's too light. There we go. You can kind of see how they're curly on the ends. But some of my locks before, you had that area where it was curly, and then you had just some longer strands of hair that were kind of just hanging there. And she was like, those are never gonna lock, and they're gonna hinder your locking process. So I'm just gonna trim, you know, some of these little extra, kind of like flyaways, but within a lock, and they were only at the end. So she's like, I'm gonna trim, you know, some of these extra pieces out. And so I'm like, okay, no problem, let's do it. So then after she did it, I did not like it. When I looked in the mirror the next day, and I guess it was just that adjustment process, I felt like the whole top half of my locks were all so much shorter than the back. I didn't feel like it was smooth at all because the back ones hadn't been cut yet. And so I just felt like it looked weird, and I felt like I had lost so much inches, or so many inches, let me be grammatically correct. And it bothered me for a little while, and so I only wore my hair up in a bun during that entire period, because I was like, I don't like this. But after it settled, I guess is the best way that I can put it, I like it. And as you can see, it looks relatively even now. We did not have to cut the back, because curl pattern does a lot with how your locks mature. And so the back of my head has always had a different curl pattern than the front. And so the back of my hair did not have that same issue that the front of my hair had. So we didn't have to cut the back when she did my retie. I mean, maybe like, you know, a couple here or there, but not as extensive as she had to do the top. And I mean, they look great. I can see that they're starting to thicken up, and I'm just really in love with my hair. I can't wait for them to get a whole lot longer and a whole lot thicker and all that good stuff. And then the last thing I just wanted to tell you guys about, and I know this was a really quick video, but I just kind of wanted to see you guys because I missed you. But the last thing I want to tell you about is I have decided to start something new, and it is going to be called Ask Danny. So I have gotten several questions via text message, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, or whatever the case may be, over the last year since I've been a nurse. And even before then, when I was in nursing school, people would often come to me and ask questions, and there have been more coming with this whole COVID-19 business. So I want to start a session called Ask Danny, and I think that I am probably going to do this on Instagram. I have started a series on Instagram under my Instagram page called Nurse Danny, I believe it's called, pretty sure. But when you go on my Instagram page, you'll see 3 things where my pictures are. So one will be my picture post, and then the second thing, you'll see a little tab, you know, where you see people that have tagged you in posts. In between those two, my post and the post I've been tagged in, there is now a little IGTV logo. And so under that, I am going to post Ask Danny sessions. So I won't post any sessions if I don't get any questions. So please reach out to me with whatever questions you have. My goal is going to be to do that at least once a week. And then my goal is also going to be to do a YouTube video for you guys once a week, just so I can keep you guys updated, keep you informed, and then just be there as a resource for you guys. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, I am so sorry that quarantine has kind of put me in a little bit of a rut, but I am working really hard to get out of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So you know what the deal is. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, Danny Loves.